This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
Test. Okay. Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour here.
It's your quickie.
Quickie day.
And we got some pretty good stuff.
There has been some stuff. Were you going to start heavy or end heavy?
You want to start with
Are they all heavy?
No.
Okay.
Start with Casey Anthony or end with Casey Anthony?
End with that bitch.
Okay, let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
The
three.
The three. So there was, you covered the story back in, when this happened, 2024. So it was just like 14 months ago, I think it was, is what they said. And, yeah, 14 months. And there was the three people who were found in the backyard after they watched they were Chiefs fans. They were in, Missouri? They were just all found dead in the backyard, and they had been dead in the backyard of a friend's house in the snow. And the owner of the home was like just asleep for days, and he didn't even know it. So
those contacts look more natural, by the way.
Yeah. These are the real ones, like the ones that I can actually see.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But don't they look good?
Yeah.
Not as creepy.
Not like a cat eye.
Oh, we cannot do that. So 2 men charged. Okay, so we have Ricky Johnson, David Harrington, and Clayton McGinney. They were all found dead in Jordan Willis's backyard on January 9th, 2 days after watching the Chiefs game at Jordan Willis's home. So police have finally made an arrest after 14 months. And the two people are facing felony charges, including involuntary manslaughter. Jordan Willis and Ivory Carson. So the home owner and this other guy named Ivory Carson are charged with distribution of a controlled substance and 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter. They're being held on $100,000 cash bond, maximum penalty 10 years in prison. So while prosecutor was searching the home, they found 2 plastic bags of white powdery substances, and they tested positive for cocaine. Jordan Willis, the homeowner, was determined to be the major contributor of DNA found on the bag. The other bag contained fentanyl.
Wow.
And the probable cause statement says that, which one's Mr. Carson? Was determined to be the Carson. Oh, that's Ivory Carson. Carson was a major contributor on the bag as well. But it says that they all died from fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol.
Listen, if you bring fentanyl anywhere, you're trying to kill somebody.
Did the dude bring the fentanyl? Or was it just, like, laced with fentanyl? Like, it didn't say.
It said 2 separate bags. So there was a bag full of cocaine that I read, and then a bag of fentanyl.
Who carries around, who is like, hey,
here's
bro,
some fentanyl.
Hook me up with some fentanyl.
But remember, he was a scientist. Remember the guy that lived in the house? But I don't know who the other guy was.
That's the guy who supplied. So I guess this Ivory guy is the one who supplied him. And, like, hey, he made the delivery or whatever. And then it was Jordan's house, and he was, like, the chemist or whatever. And maybe he was making some kind of cocktail. But why would you even
and did the other kids know this? It was fentanyl. Like, did it have an F on the bag?
I don't know.
That's why you don't sniff shit.
And that there was, like, a tray of, it was just out there on this tray, like, white lines. But, like, so I guess they were, like, snorting coke and fentanyl and then smoking weed or marijuana.
Oh,
and maybe drinking. Because it says alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, fentanyl, all
the gateway. So you start off with alcohol, then you go to marijuana, then you go to cocaine, and then you do them all.
Yeah, I think you're like drinking, getting ready to go to the game, and then you snort a couple lines so you can get pumped up. You come, I don't know where the fentanyl comes in because I don't know what it does.
But they didn't go to the game, did they? They just watched it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I just picture that they went, but either way, yeah. Well, okay, they just went there to watch it.
Because one wakes you up and a marijuana's a downer, and the other one's an upper.
Yeah.
So you do them in whatever order
and then alcohol,
however you want to feel.
And then you're just...
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah. So the Willis's lawyer says that he said the last time he saw the guys was when they left his house and he went to bed. So I guess he thought they left and then he just went to bed. But, I mean, I'm sure he was just as messed up as them, but I don't know why he didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
And why they did die. I don't know. So that's what we have. That's where we are.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then the homeowner, Jordan Willis, maintains that he is not responsible for purchasing or supplying the drugs that led to their death.
It's one thing to, like, have all that on your system and then die, so then your family's going to find out. But then now the world and everybody else that's mourning you is going to find out because it's all in this news.
All in the news.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, at least they, I guess, came up with charges on him. I don't know.
The dad, one of the ones who died, dad said, you know, even if the trial was today, he doesn't seem very convinced that they're going to actually get a punishment.
It's like, I just want to know if they were tricked into taking it or they, like, were taking it knowingly or doing it knowingly.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, well, that's kind of your own fault.
Your own choice. But then also when you give somebody else drugs, you know that there's a chance that they could have a bad reaction and die. So their blood is on your hands, and I don't know. At least the fentanyl guy, he's got to go.
Yeah.
He got to go. Because fentanyl, no way.
Then we have 9 students went missing while on vacation, and they were found dismembered on the side of the highway in Mexico.
Oh, no.
On March 4th, the dismembered bodies of 9 missing students have been found.
Students from where?
It didn't say. So it's just in Mexico. It's like an hour and a half or hour away from Mexico City.
But they're Mexico students?
They had Mexican names.
Okay.
Found on the side of the highway in southern Mexico, along with a bag of severed hands. What? Authorities made the gruesome discovery in San Jose, Milwaukee. San Jose, Milwaukee, near the border of Puebla and Oaxaca.
Oh, yeah. Oaxaca.
It starts with an O, but it's Oaxaca? Oaxaca, yeah. 4 bodies were stuffed inside the trunk of an abandoned vehicle, while 5 others were found on a blood-soaked tarp nearby, like right down the road. Investigators discovered 8 pairs of severed hands in a bag with 2 more left inside the car. The victims were 4 women, 5 men, ages 19 to 30 years old. They all had bullet wounds and signs of torture.
What?
Awful.
What?
The students were from Pascala and had traveled to Oaxaca for a beach vacation. They went missing on February 27th. Surveillance footage shows their vehicle on a highway near Aclico 3 days earlier, about 90 miles from where their remains were found.
Wait, how were they dismembered again?
Just that their hands. That's all that it said, was that their hands were off. Wow. So I don't know if there's more or that's just all they're saying, because it says that they were in a dark gray Volkswagen and they were discovered 150 miles southeast of Mexico City, and no suspects have been named. The investigation is ongoing. I mean, it's like cartel hit or something. And I don't know. That's all we know.
Yeah. So,
I had like 3 people send this to me today.
one of my coworkers, so we have a lot of coworkers that are from Mexico. But what happens is when you graduate college there's these job fairs, and a lot of times businesses and school districts from Texas will go there and recruit because you need Spanish speakers, right? So we get a lot of our teachers from Mexico to teach like bilingual classes or whatever. So I was talking about like how often do you go home, and he says we haven't been home in a while. One, we had to get new vehicles, so we don't want to drive down there in in their new vehicles, because you got people on the side of the road,
yeah.
cartel, whoever they are, it's cartel and more probably, that will want to rob you because of it. So they used to take their older vehicles, and
Yeah.
then and they can't fly because they have a kid with special needs, so that's not gonna work. So then one of Soupy's coworkers that used to be like a travel agent there and like did really, really well, but once you do well, the cartel sees you that you're doing well, and then they want to start making you do illegal things.
Yeah.
And so he came, and he's a mechanic here now. He says, and we used to go back. He says, but you pay a couple, like $100 each little town for clear passing. Like basically, if you give, and it has to be no less than 100. So if you want to get by, if you want to go to this next town, you give me 100, and that's just how it is there. So I was just wondering, like, did these kids not have enough money? Did they think they had too much? Did it start off with a robbery, and then ended up like that? That is either the it's like the story from a.
And all from just going to the beach for vacation.
Gosh, no.
Awful. Well, and my sister just got back from Mexico City like 2 weeks ago.
Gosh.
It's like, why would you want to go there?
It's in the city, you're good. It's like around the city, like getting there. So you want to fly straight into where you're going and stay right there in the tourist.
I mean, I kind of want to like see it, but I don't want to be there.
Oh, it's supposed to be beautiful.
No, like I want to see like they're like
Their
riding
body?
around.
Oh.
No, like the cartel. Like do
Oh.
they just like they just have like the bandanas over their face and stuff?
I don't even think they got to cover their face. I don't know. Who knows? But it's kind of like the Mark Kilroy case, where the killer in this case did like some Santeria, the devil worshiping whatever, Saint Santa Muerte.
Oh yeah. That sounds right.
The saint of death or whatever. And then he had all these other like real religions, but they believed whoever you killed or sacrificed, you get their strength. So he killed this Mark Kilroy kid because he was a student at UT, a med student. And so he thought if he would kill him, he would get all this kid's knowledge.
How'd that work out?
He ended up killing himself.
Oh,
but
so it wasn't.
I wonder if it's something like cult religious like that too.
Probably just cartel, being cartel.
Ugh.
This guy named Brad Sigmund is going to be the first person to die by firing squad with the last 15 years. So in 15 years, we have not done a death by firing squad.
But it's been an option this whole time, right? Or they took it off and they're giving it back?
I think they took it off and they brought it back. I'm not sure how each state is, but by the time everybody's listening to this, it will already have happened because it's happening tomorrow.
What state?
South Carolina. So in 2001, he killed his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat in their home.
Okay.
And the deaths were really gruesome. He beat him to death with a baseball bat. There was defensive wounds. One, the mom was like just sitting in the chair, and he just beat her. Like he was on like crack, cocaine, or meth, or something like that. Yeah. He then fled to Tennessee and then was arrested 10 days later. In 2002, he was sentenced to death. His death date came. He threw a fit because he didn't want, and I don't know. This is just what this is just what I found. He threw a fit because he didn't want to get the lethal injection because he thought it was inhumane. Because I guess they had some people recently, maybe in South Carolina or somewhere, that when they do it, it doesn't work. And then you're just sitting there like, I don't know, shaking or suffering.
Yeah,
or
like Green Mile.
Yeah, yes. And so then he got it postponed, and they gave him 3 options. He could choose lethal injection, the electric chair, or firing squad. And he chose firing squad.
What?
And so he will be strapped to a metal chair, and 3 people will line up to start shooting at him. 2 of the people, that none of the people shooting will know if they have the bullet or the blank.
I guess they do that to protect them, because it's like that with...
Then you don't know, I guess,
with
like
the
if
hanging
you,
and
yeah,
everything.
like you don't know if you're the one that killed somebody, so you don't have to have that on your mind. So that's happening tomorrow.
What kind of evidence did he have to have for them to say, okay, well, we won't do this. Let's give you these options.
I know.
Like just crying and saying,
I know. That's what
it's-
it was. Just very little info on
Yeah.
it because I just saw it because I was like, firing squad? What?
I know. No, I wasn't asking you. I just wondered,
Yeah.
like, at what point, like, what judge was like, okay.
Okay, well, we'll give you like just inject him.
Yeah,
Who
twice.
cares?
Do it twice.
You want to do it twice? Do it 3 times. Okay. Lori Vallow Daybell.
I just saw that, and I'm tired of seeing her.
I know. So let me play this little clip for you, and then I'll tell you what's going on.
Sit down.
All right, we're ready? Are you keeping track, Keith? Can we agree on that, Keith? Can I joke with you, Keith? Can we joke? Good one, Keith.
Her hair looks really
You've heard a lot of stuff, Keith, and I'm here to say you've heard a lot of stuff, but what I tell you will be the truth. I thought we were gonna be friends, Keith. I thought we were gonna be friends. Get your facts straight, Keith. Aren't appearances not what they might seem to be, Keith? Could you get your life story out in 90 minutes, Keith? How old are you, Keith? Keith, we can talk all day. I can talk all day. I don't have anything to do. You could extend your time. Come back. Come see me.
Keith. Ma'am.
What?
So, Friday, tomorrow, 2-hour special of a jailhouse interview with Lori Vallow Daybell. So she's going to sit down with Keith Morrison.
Only Keith Morrison.
And in one of the clips that was on wherever, she says that she and Chad will be exonerated in the future because she has seen things in the future that Jesus showed her when she was in heaven, and they were not in jail, and they were not in prison, and they were in the future.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly what she said. So Chad is currently on death row. He's convicted of killing Lori's 2 children and his first wife, Tammy. Lori is serving 2 life sentences for murder of her 2 children. She has yet to show any remorse. She maintains her innocence. She's currently awaiting trial in Arizona for, she's being charged with conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder of her former husband, Charles Vallow, and her ex-nephew-in-law, Brandon Bordeaux. Although Charles Vallow is the one that died, Brandon is still alive, so attempted on him and murder for Charles. She is representing herself in her trial that is supposed to start on March 31st. So we're going to have a nice little sit down with her.
Goodness.
So check out Dateline for the latest Lori Vallow Daybell.
I almost couldn't
looks
even
like-
just stand that video. It looks
I know.
like she had Bell's palsy.
She looks kind of like a clown. Like her makeup, because like it's, you got jailhouse makeup.
I guess so, but she had a good flat curling wand.
She always has her hair curled up like that.
And how she can get these great highlights or
I don't-
lowlights.
Well, probably because people put money on her books, and I guess I don't know what they use. What are they?
I don't know. On Orange is the New Black, they had a beautician. Remember the trans?
But do they have like hair color, like those chemicals and stuff? I don't know. I don't want to know. I mean, I do want to know, but I don't want to find out in that way.
She was probably like, if I'm going to do this interview, I need this done and this done, like
but
my hair done, my highlights.
She came to court and she was looking all. I mean, she did have some lipstick on, but she probably got that from. Oh, I just saw April walking to the Alico building today. Rolled down my window.
Who was it?
Oh, girl I used to work with.
Oh, okay. Shout
out to Emily. We just talked about that,
Yes.
and she just messaged me. That's really funny. Okay, let's get to the best one of all. Now, Casey Anthony, she's decided to make a return, and I'm going to tell you what happens, and then I'm just going to play the whole thing.
Okay.
Because we need to hear it. But she's recently joined TikTok. Okay. She's now a legal analyst. Okay. And so far, she's only posted one video, which I'll play for you in a second. But let me just get you set up. She's in her car, and she starts by saying that my name is Casey Anthony, and my daughter is Kaylee Anthony.
As
Bitch,
if nobody knows.
And she's dead.
Daughter
It's not it's was.
Was.
And she talks about she's going to reintroduce herself, and that she's been in the legal field since 2011.
We knew that when she did that three-parter.
That was like 2 years ago. She's trying to say she's been in the legal field since she was on trial.
Well, she was.
You
Jose Baez.
You were acquitted for murder, ma'am.
That's in the legal field. That happened in 2011.
I think it started in it happened in 2008, and then the trial. So basically, she's trying to get on here to promote her Substack. Do you know what Substack is? Mm-mm. So a lot of people do Substack. A lot of influencers or bloggers or Instagram. It's basically a place to go where you can write your articles and people can read them. And if you want to, you can subscribe to the Substack and just
they
get
can
their
make money
content.
off of it.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So it's kind of like Patreon, I guess, but without video. It's just articles. But I'm like, what the fuck are you going to write about? And who's going to read it? And what do they want to get your advice for? How to get away with murder? How to do whatever with your lawyer? I don't know. Now, she's an advocate now. And okay. She just wants to give a voice to other people. And let me just tell you, before I play this, that she had first had her comments turned off.
Yes.
And they're on now.
Okay.
And the first comment is like, this is like saying having Jeffrey Dahmer open up a steakhouse. So here's 3 minutes and 25 seconds of a waste of your time.
So I saw it on X. Hold on. I saw it on X, but it came out on TikTok first.
Well, I think that
it's a TikTok video that she shared everywhere.
Yes, yes.
Do comments help your growth on TikTok?
I'm sure, but
views and everything.
There's more comments than likes, so that means that you're oh my God, what is it called? You've been ratioed. So you don't ever want to have more comments than likes. You want more people. You want like 1 million likes and 50,000 comments or whatever. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have 1 million comments and 50,000 likes, because that means that people are like, I'm looking at your shit, but I don't like it. I'm just going to talk shit in the comments to you.
Okay.
And she starts it off by saying that she's sweating, and I just can't.
I sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened, and it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur, and when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car. And I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and we'll see how this goes.
Oh my goodness. It's like she has a bloody happy hour tattoo on her arm.
She's the most unlikable just her demeanor and her face during that whole video. There's nothing anything. Why would anybody even
She's very robotic, and
yes,
that seems very rehearsed, and she still has
mad,
no reaction.
and she seems so angry, and she's the bottom teeth keep showing, and she just reminds me of Amber Heard when she's on the stand, and just is like.
It always goes back to Amber Heard.
I know, because they have that same facial expression when they're lying and just talking. They're saying things that they know they don't mean. She really wants to just
But they're trying to seem serious.
Yeah. Yes. She just wants to start cussing somebody out and throw a bottle over their head or something. Because she ratchet. And so she goes on and she posts the presumption. So she posts the video and then she posts 2 pictures. And this is one of the pictures. It's just words. The presumption of innocence is a sacred right afforded to all individuals arrested in this country. That is not an option. It is a fact. We are plagued by a rush to judgment before someone even steps foot in the courtroom. Once a verdict is read, however long the process takes, the public must trust that the system worked the way it was intended. You are entitled to your opinions, not your own set of facts. You, as a general public, will never know the full facts of a case. The media will never tell you the truth. They will tell you what you want. They will tell you what to think and how to feel. Educate yourselves. Stop spreading hate. If tomorrow you woke up and you were arrested, accused of a crime you didn't commit, or someone close to you were to be, wouldn't you want them to be treated fairly and just? It's not that complicated. Being a legal advocate is something incredibly important, not only to me individually and professionally, but for the sake of the current legal climate. There is a constant rush to judgment, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but then she then on her Substack, because I screenshotted this, everybody starts talking shit to her. Everybody's like, go away. Why are you, nobody wants you here.
Of course,
No,
yes.
Post some pictures of Kaylee. Where's your daughter? She would be almost 20 years old now. I mean, just all the things. She says, for everyone speaking good, bad, or otherwise, heed your words and make sure you are saying something of substance. Here's the law in Florida about threats, libel, and slander. And then she goes on to say, you don't have to be a resident of Florida. You don't have, yeah. My next thread, I'll be posting the statutes for every one of our next 50 states and their territories, even for those of you saying these things about me, because I guess people are like talking shit about her. Now she's saying she's going to come at them. So like now you're causing this big fight and now you're being defensive and aggressive. I'm still going to continue to do what I said I was going to do, which is to advise you of your rights and the law. It's a public record. It is public record, and if necessary, I will remind you that it is not legal advice, purely public information. You need to educate yourself before you implicate yourself. I would say stop the bullshit, but I think that's asking a little too much. We all have the same freedom of speech, but the First Amendment does not protect you against these things most of the time. So, unsolicited advice, proceed with caution.
Wow.
I cannot. And then somebody's like, you're rebranding yourself as a legal advocate like Jeremy is like Jeffrey Dahmer opening a steakhouse. So she trying to grift and get some money, and nobody's falling for it.
She needs to stay in her hole.
She does.
It's like every once in a while she needs some attention. Last time she was in the news, she was with a married guy, right?
Yes, and she got, there was like some, but like out of nowhere, somebody's just going to randomly take a picture of you with the guy. What they say is, a lot of times, celebrities, which she's not a celebrity, but I guess she could call somebody from TMZ or something and be like, hey, I'm going to be walking out with a guy from taking a picture. Because, like, a lot of the celebrities do that. They're like, hey, I'll be over here, take my picture because I need to get back in the news and I need to get some,
I wonder how many subscribers she has, and I wonder how long this will last.
What is she going to give advice to people about anyway?
Who's going to ask her for advice?
And yes! I don't know.
Did she think somebody was going to say, oh, how honorable of you?
The only thing I can say is she has really nice skin and she does have pretty eyes. And I hate
Great
saying
hair. Great hair.
I don't like her hair. It's too flat.
Well, she could put some body in it because she don't do anything.
I don't want to give her too many things. I just do want to say that she does have very, like, she has really good clear skin.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't like anything about her. I don't even want to say good things about her.
Nothing.
So, there you go. There's your quickie.
Good stuff. Freaking Casey.
I know. I saw that on Twitter or on X, and I was like, why is she trending? And then I was like, oh no.
I bet Nancy Grace was all over it.
Oh yeah.
All over it. Okay. That is it. We will see y'all Thursday for part 2 of Vanessa Guillen. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.